I'm Nika Vaughn, owner and founder of Plant Salon. Welcome to our YouTube channel, where we're going to share plant and self-care tips, tricks, and how-tos. Today we're going to start by how to propagate 3 different types of plants. I feel like for especially beginners, but anyone in general, one of the easiest plants to start to propagate is a succulent. A burrow's tail like this plant literally lends itself to starting new plants. The easiest way to start, you don't even need scissors, is going to be to pluck a leaf off. You're going to have just a little dish. They don't have long roots. They don't have crazy big roots or anything for these little guys. So we're just going to take a little dish with dry soil. Don't even need a lot of moisture. We're going to tuck our leaf in, and that's it. Over time, it will grow what we call roots. These little rootlets, these pink guys, and you can see from this cutting, they kind of just start poking out right from the stem. The roots will find their way to the dirt and grow into a plantlet and then a new plant. So the next one we're going to do is more of a vining plant. And this is a kind of plant that you might prefer to have hanging like off a bookshelf or off of a macrame hanger. It vines and it likes to hang downward. You can put these on a trellis to grow upward, but they really lend themselves to draping. This is a philodendron micans. It's very velvety. It has great plummy, ruby undersides and nice velvety green on top. For a lot of vining plants, it's really straightforward. You're going to find the stem. This is the long stem. You'll find where a leaf and a stem comes together. Sometimes they call that like finding the Y. So we're going to find our Y shape. And when you find the Y, there are all these little like bumps and little roots almost. Those are little aerial roots. And this general area is called the node. And when you are going to propagate, you're going to take your scissors and you're going to cut. I'm going to cut so that these bottom two leaves are going to be separate on their own. So I'm going to cut from this next node between the two of them right there. This is my new cutting. I'm going to snip this other leaf off here, and I'm going to snip off the extra stem. And now I'm going to tuck it into a glass of water. That's my favorite way to propagate micans and trailing philodendrons. I'm going to just tuck it in there. And then over time, you'll notice that from the node, little white roots start to form. When the roots are about 1 to 2 is really what you're aiming for, 2 inches long, that means it's ready to be potted in soil. All right, the next one is a little intimidating for some beginning plant owners, but a lot of people love this plant, so let's talk about it. This is a Monstera deliciosa. This variety, both of these are Monstera albos, and so these are slightly variegated. But as you can see with this one, there is no variegation happening right now. It's kind of sad. So she is ripe for cutting and making new plants. When you are cutting a Monstera, this kind of upright plant, you might eventually want to have it trellised. You're going to want to keep things more vertical. It's going to help the leaves to get larger. So like our philodendron, our Monstera is a vining plant, but it wants to go upwards. So what we're going to do is the same kind of idea. We're going to look for our Ys. With this one, I'm going to start off with a smaller cutting because I think I'm going to make it bushier overall, just a bushier plant since it's going to not be variegated. And so I'm going to find my stem. I'm going to find, this is the petiole. It's kind of like the stem of the leaf, but it's called a petiole. And then this is the air root, an aerial root. So now that I've found my petiole, it's attached to the leaf, my stem, my aerial root, I know I have the node. So I'm going to cut about 2 inches. Sure, I'm way far away from my node. Voila. I'm going to let this callus. Callus just means I want the end of the stem to dry just a little bit. It's going to harden over and not be damp to the touch. So I'm just going to do that maybe for the time it takes me to prepare wherever I'm going to pot it in or the vase of water I'm going to put it in. 5 minutes, 10 minutes is great. The larger you're cutting, the more you might want to let it callus for a really large cutting. Like I might let it callus for like 20 minutes but that's it. I'm gonna tuck this guy, I'm gonna propagate it in this vase full of leca and water. And leca are expanded clay balls. They're going to pull the water up and, you know, make contact with the roots and keep all the roots nice and humid. And then over time, as you can see here, our stem starts to grow some awesome roots. So I can either keep it in this vessel or I can transfer it to a pot of soil. If you like this video, please be sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe so you can keep tabs on all of our plant and self-care tips in the future. If you have an idea or suggestion for us for a great plant or self-care video, please let me know. I would love to hear about it. And thank you again for watching. We'll see you next time.